All right, let's get into it. All right, y'all. My name is Chris Taylor, and we are back with another conversation or ill conversation. Today, I have Flame Fontayne with me. Flame Fontayne is an artist from Cincinnati, and he recently dropped an album. It was BD Zero Belief.
Yes, zero belief, just zero belief.
My bad, dog. My bad. Yeah, that shit, bro. Great album, by the way. Great album.
Thank
That was
you.
I was listening to that on my hike, getting ready for the podcast, and I was telling Chris too. That like it's hard to make an album in 2025 because a lot of times people just put like 25 songs together and it sounds more like a playlist.
Yeah.
So like you actually being able to put an album together and keep me engaged for 50 minutes was like really good. And like I said, sequencing was on fire. It was like
Thank
on point. Beats were on point. High level lyricism. Like rapping was really cool. I like the EQ line that you have in was it Pulling Strings?
Pulling Strings.
That
yeah.
EQ line was tough as fuck. I really like that a lot, dude.
Appreciate it, man.
So but yeah, dog. Let's get into it. Do you remember the first time that we met?
First time that we met, it was at Black Coffee, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I
open
remember
mic.
that.
Yeah.
It was
So,
at Black Coffee, open mic.
It sounds that was what like 2 years ago, damn near. I think it should be 2 years this year.
Yeah, maybe. No, it was probably two.
Yeah,
It was probably
2022.
Yeah.
But then you had went first, and then they couldn't get the audio started for a second.
Yes, bro. Yes.
That was mad funny.
Yes, bro. And I had to like. That's when I knew I was like getting better at like stage stuff because I had to like talk off the cusp, but
No,
I
it was
didn't
like-
feel hella awkward.
Yeah, it was a good 5 minutes honestly before they got everything
Bro,
started.
I'm saying they left me hanging, bro.
It was crazy, but it was a good environment because they had so many they had so many different artists there that night, and it was cool to see like something in the city actually open up for open mics, and it was
I
a
love
good
what they
platform
do.
and shit like that. And then I was talking to him. We all know Clay. I was talking to Clay. I was like, bro, because I was about to put on the Flamingo 1.5 show, and I was like, bro, we should get him on the show. And then Clay was like, I think I had class with him. So then y'all started chopping it up, and I got your number. We talked about the show, and it would be cool since then, dog.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, dog, how you been today? How you been chilling, or how you been feeling? I should say.
I'm good, man. Did some grocery shopping this morning, you know what I'm saying? Did some Sunday things, woke up kind of chill, had some coffee. I'm living life, so I'm feeling good.
Real adult shit, dog. Real adult shit. All right, dude. So let's get into the album a little bit. Actually, before we get into the album, you said you grew up in Cincinnati, right?
Yes,
Back
sir.
in the Q&A. What are some things that you think someone else in the country wouldn't experience in Cincinnati growing up?
That they wouldn't experience. I don't know. My thing about Cincinnati is I think it's like you get like a city feel, like it's a small big city.
Yeah, facts.
So it has
Facts.
it has a big city kind of feel to it, but without the downsides of a big city,
Yeah.
right? So
Hella
like
traffic.
without hella traffic, and there's a different kind of traffic,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
without
yeah,
hella
yeah,
like
yeah.
backed up traffic, without some of you get the Midwestern kind of politeness and stuff like that. It's not people just everywhere. Like those things are good about a big city because you like that energy. But I think Cincinnati has like a cool pace to it. You can go to the burbs and you can do your thing and be perfectly cool on some Ohio stuff.
Yeah.
And then you come to the city and get kind of enough of a city feel.
Yeah.
So that's what I think is really cool about Cincinnati as I started to like get out of Cincinnati and travel and stuff like that. It's like,
Yeah, it's cool. It's also cool, like you said, it has that big city feel because like when the Reds game go on, like the Reds
Yes.
parade, it's like you wouldn't even know it's a Midwestern town. Or
Yeah,
like
exactly.
when the Bengals were in the Super Bowl a couple years ago.
Nah, for
It's
real.
so crazy though, because like once they went to the Super Bowl, I feel like the energy flipped a lot. I don't know if you felt the same way, but like I felt like we're on the come up of becoming like one of those mid-tier, bigger Midwest cities, I would say.
Yeah.
Honestly. So also on top of just living in Cincinnati, what are some things that you like about Cincinnati opposed to other cities?
Again, that balance.
Yeah.
That balance between like there being enough. There's a lot of stuff to do here, a good amount of things to do, but it's also just a laid back, a laid back vibe. Some small city stuff, and then I don't know, just the pride. You know what I mean? Like
Facts.
you got your people who like want to get out of Ohio. Like I can't wait to get out. But like a lot of people from other cities in Ohio do come here.
Yeah.
I think because it's like that, there's a lot of culture, there's a lot of
Exactly. I was about
art,
to say
there's
that.
a lot like going on. It is like a hipper, but like, you know what I'm saying? It is like a spot like that. Like there's a lot of artists. The art scene is good. We got the sports teams, and we go up for our sports teams.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm from Philly, so like the Phillies fans are like super into their sports teams and shit like that. But like the Bengals fans, dude, like they fucking, even when the Bengals were not good at all,
Yeah.
they were still riding for them at like harder than
hard.
motherfucker, dude. And I, like you said, that pride in just being from Cincinnati is like, even the people that say I want to leave Ohio, they still take pride in being from Ohio or just from Cincinnati. Like if someone talks shit about it, I feel like they're gonna be like, hey, wait a second, we actually got Skyline, we got these other cool things going on in the city and shit like that. So yeah, I love Cincinnati. I think I went to Houston 2 years ago, and I went to Atlanta 3 years ago. Okay. I wanted to move a little bit, but I came back from those cities. I was like, damn, like. There's something about Cincinnati that Houston and Atlanta didn't have. Like, it, for one, they're bigger cities, but two is just like just that hominess and just like that chill factor that's here. And like, for one, the prices are a lot better too than those cities too,
for sure.
But it's like also the people too are just like so chill. And I always tell people, anytime you want to come to the, you want to build a family, come to the Midwest, because it's fast paced, but at the same time too, you can find your slower pockets to like do some stuff and just chill out and stuff like that. So yeah. Cincinnati's a really dope city, man. Really dope city. Yeah. So. On your music journey, dog, so from the beginning of you making music to now, right? Yeah. Do you have any, like, crazy stories that you think really helped you get to where you're at right now to, like, making your albums to where it's out and you can kind of promo it?
Crazy stories. Like, when you say crazy story, what do you mean?
No, you don't say crazy. Just like a story that made you, like, that you're like, that kind of, like, define who you are as a person, or, like, kind of help you build your character and who you are right now. Or like small instances or like anything like that.
I mean, a lot of my story comes from, at least on my first album, comes from my struggle with like faith. Like I grew up in I have an interesting background when it comes to religion and like the religion that I grew up with, and just not feeling like I could do a lot of the artistic things I wanted to do, feeling boxed into one type of lifestyle and things like that. So, you know, overcoming those, deciding to go on my own path, that was a big thing for me. And you can hear that across my album. That's kind of like the genesis of my artistic journey, I would say. Sure. I would say that. And just like, you know, becoming Flame Fontayne, you know, the artist. Also, like, you know, the way that, this is not crazy, but the way that I kind of like got into making beats is kind of, and I kind of mentioned this during the Q&A, but, you know, I used to be beating on the tables. That was my thing, like summer camp, beating the hell out of the tables. And like some leaders were like, you know, with it. Of course, the other kids were with it sometimes. And we would rap a little bit, but like a lot of the leaders with camp leaders would get annoyed with it. So then we had a volunteer that opened up a studio in like the janitorial closet, and I didn't even know it was a closet at the time. Like he had so much stuff in there that it was just like I was in awe. But he put me in there, and you know, he just put me in like Sony Acid Pro, and he would eventually teach me FL Studios, but he put me in Sony Acid Pro, and I was just dragging out loops. But that was the coolest shit to me, like to actually see it. That's my first exposure to any type of DAW. And it was crazy. I didn't even continue it that summer. Really? I like picked it up. I was just bored like the next summer. Okay. After like, you know, after I went back to school, whatever, I was bored, and I was like, damn, what can I like? I need a hobby. What can I do other than like the regular sports and stuff I was on? And I was like, bruh, I'm about to Google. So I took a deep dive into like every DAW, how do you make music, all that type of stuff. And that, you know, that was that's an interesting story that I like. In my kind of like genesis, like becoming artistic. Cool.
Hell yeah, dude, that's what's up. I always love hearing those first time stories, because like that first initial spark of just like not knowing what's really going on, but you kind of like have an idea what you want to do in that, and like trying to figure it out is always really cool. So speaking about getting out the box, right? So like, what were some ways that you got out of that box, or quote unquote box that you were in, to get to where you're at now?
Really just learning to stand on my own. You know, I had the belief system that I was in was just very like, this is what you do, this is who you are, take this, take that. This is how we think. It was more like group think centric. Like we all have to be moving as one on one accord. And you know, a lot of ways I thought different. I thought different than a lot of the people around me. And I wanted to lean into that. And I was always kind of like afraid. Like I had a lot of like trepidation about things, like even being in college, because I would get called out for things.
Yeah.
Just doing regular college shit, like just wanting to explore.
Living life.
Literally living life. And I would get called out or in trouble for some of those things. I would look around and I'm like, nothing is happening to anybody for doing this. But it seemed to be like huge implications if you took any adventurous path. So just like learning to leaning in and trusting myself, and just like taking those little inklings of, I don't think this is so bad. I'm just gonna like step out and try it, and then being like, okay, the world is not ending. Like,
literally.
Cool. Like, cool, big exhale. And I'm like, I'm gonna do that again, or I'm gonna try something else. I'm gonna push another button. Like, I think about it like that. I just like pushing buttons and seeing what happens. And like, that's a philosophy I take to life. Like, when I want to figure something out, like, just start pressing buttons. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just start trying shit and you'll figure it out. If something happened, and I ain't gonna press that one again. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like when you were a kid. So that was a big part of my journey. I would say breaking out of the box.
I like there's a correlation between how you kind of started with like making music and like how you're saying now just pushing buttons. Like you're making beats, pushing buttons, kind of figuring out how to like make beats.
You know what I mean?
And the same thing for like life done. I think a lot of times like people get stuck in that box because I think they're afraid of like other people telling them like this is wrong, or like they get so stuck in, like you said, that group think, and they're like, oh, maybe the group's not really gonna fuck with this idea. They probably wouldn't say fuck with this idea, but like they're not gonna fuck with this idea, and I'm afraid to go on my own and be different. But I think once people break out on their own and they're like different, they're able to actually figure out who they are as a person. And I think that's the saddest thing, when like people don't really figure out what their full potential is. Yeah. And it's like, dude, like if you actually tapped into what you really could be, you don't even know what the world can be. And better yet, sometimes too, like it's gonna turn out better than what you even think it could be. Mm-hmm. So props to you for breaking out the box, dude. Because like for one, it's not easy, and then two, I think also as kids, like you want to be a part of the group, and like you want to be fit in and be like, oh, I want to fit in with all these people because this is what they're doing. But once you start doing your own shit and you like stand on your own and you get that confidence in yourself, like, oh, this isn't that bad, and like I actually like doing that shit. Yeah. The world really opens up to you, and you start meeting other people that think like you too.
Yes.
And
it's like, you know what's crazy? Like we all gravitate to people who are just like unapologetically being themselves. Exactly. But if we find it so hard to actually do that, like a lot of people find it so hard to just lean into it because it's not common. But we all love those people. Exactly. Those are the people that we revere, but like it's hard to get there. We feel like we can't do it, or like it's not valued on the day-to-day, like in your regular just like going to work, going to the grocery store, coming home. No, it's like standing out is not like valued or encouraged.
It's so weird though, because like you said, we love those people. So it's like, why don't we just do that every day? Because I feel like once you're more authentic, you can actually see who people are, because a lot of people have that mask on, right? Mm-hmm. And they're afraid to be like, oh, this is who I really am. But if you show who you really are, you're going to attract the right people towards you. And the people that don't vibe with you, they're not going to vibe with you. And that's cool, and that's okay. So yeah, dude, I'm learning that as I get older. It's a weird world. It's like, bro, like just be yourself, dog. Like just tell the truth. It's like, literally. You know what's crazy? People get mad when you tell the truth too. It's like, my nigga, my bad, bro. I just want you to, like, this is how I see it. And it's probably like, it may not be the truth, but like this is what I'm standing on. This is how I see it. Just like take it in consideration and just like think about it for a second. Yeah. But yeah, it's a very weird thing. And I think the older that we get, I think it becomes easier because you get more comfortable with your skin. Yeah. But even then too, it's like some people never really get to that point. And that's why I think about like the American dream a lot. Cause like for so long I was like, yo, I want this, this, and that. But then like you get a little bit older, it's like, I don't think I really want that like that. Right, it's like, it's not what it was cut up to be. And like for some people, that's awesome. I love that they found that purpose and that's where they found their happiness, and that's cool. But I think it's those people that like steer away from that and they're trying to figure it out. Those people are unapologetically themselves, and they can actually figure out what's going on for themselves, and they can find their tribe or their group or their community or stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah, dude, it's a very interesting thing, and I can really tell that on the album, dog, because like you're really like I can feel like the passion, the pain, everything you went through, dog, and like all these songs and shit like that. I think your fans gonna be able to really relate to a lot of them songs and stuff like that, because I've been banging Triumph, dog, and it's like you can hear like. You're trying to get a dub, you're trying to become triumphant and shit like that. Yeah. So like when you're making music, dog, what are some ways that you try to, I should say, like convey that emotion onto a track? Is it like your writing style? Is it how you record the song? Is it just like how you're trying to make a song idea come about? How is it those ways that you convey those messages?
So that's my whole thing, right? Like when my songs, I want to like give you the emotion. Like I always think of I don't know if you know the song, The Corner by Kanye or Common and Kanye. The line is, I wish I could give you this feeling. I wish I could give you this feeling. Like, it's one of my favorite lines because that's what I feel like the music is for. So when my approach to that is like when I'm writing, if the line doesn't touch me, I don't like continue with it. Like and sometimes I get hung up on that and stay on it too long, and I feel like I should just like. Sometimes I have to balance it, right? Like every line doesn't have to hit, but that's big for me. Like I want every line to evoke some kind of emotion from me, because I know if it hits for me, it's gonna hit for another human.
Exactly.
That's just how human experiences work. Like you know, it might not be in the same context, but you feeling this emotion somewhere in your life. So that's one way. And then I think like my first way of speaking and being creative and trying to get these emotions out was through the beats when I was young. Like before I was writing poetry and all the things I started with, like the biggest thing for me was the beats and learning to like express something through the music. Yeah. So I think like it usually starts there for me. It usually starts with, a track that evokes some emotion from me. And I found that like, I'm best when the track sounds kind of like emotional or full of emotion. Even if like it's a triumphant emotion, if it's a like, going my own way type of emotion, like a song called No Life off the album. Yeah. That's just kind of about like, I'm taking this journey and I'm going my own way. I'm leaving all that behind. Yeah. And we're going to see what happens. Like whatever it is, I'm able to find those emotional ties to the music and paint a story and then like put my story within it. Yeah. So that's kind of how I approach it.
That's dope. Yeah. I always feel like too, like if you ever go back to listen to like 70s, 80s music, you can feel the feeling that they had all the way now. And that's like, I feel like emotions are just like a universal language overall. Yeah. So like them being able to spill that pain or whatever emotion they had back then now really hits. And like we're saying now, when you put that emotion onto a track, I think that's how you create your core fans. Like people that like, they're going to ride with you forever because like, oh, they actually felt how I was feeling and they're actually able to portray it on the track. Because sometimes people aren't able to communicate how they feel, but a song can actually communicate better than they ever can communicate. And that's super dope, man. That's really dope. I was going to say something else about emotions too. I can't remember now because I got caught up in that. But yeah, dude, I feel like it's a lost art. I feel like us as artists too, like we get hung up on like, is this line going to hit? Is this line going to hit? I think sometimes it's like getting that shit out, dude. Like just get it out. Because if it's going to hit, if it's supposed to hit, it's going to hit somebody. Yeah. So yeah, dude, it's really dope, man.
If you feel it, put it down. That's what I'm getting to now too. Because sometimes, we get back to like you say it being the lost art. I feel like it's a competition of being cool out here sometimes now. Like, bro, we all want to be the coolest nigga and do the coolest things, but like, I don't know, living life the way you want to sound like the coolest shit to me. Like, or just like getting shit off your chest, saying what everybody is afraid to say or what everybody feel like they can't say. Yeah. I feel like that's cool to me. So
facts. And the thing about it is once you say it, there's about 20 other people that are feeling the same way you're feeling. But they're just not, they're afraid to say it. And two, they're like, I don't know how to say it. But I think it goes back to the groupthink thing. They're afraid that other people aren't going to be able to relate to how they're feeling. Yes. But it's like, dog, if you just get that out. Yeah, bro. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah. But it's also too like, going back to like your journey and shit like that, the journey can also be lonely at some points because it's like, dog, I don't think anyone else is really around right now. And you're like, you trying to figure out which way to go on the road and shit like that. So it's like, it's tough. It's not easy. No, and also too, if you haven't been taught how to do that, and like you said too, like everyone's trying to be cool. Yeah. It's like, I think it's cool to be vulnerable. Yeah, no, it is. It's like, it shows a level of just like being comfortable with yourself to a certain degree. And a lot of people aren't comfortable with themselves. That's why I think it is a lot of times. They're not comfortable who they are, and they're like, I don't really want to share how I feel. But, like, that's how you relate to people, dog, like, on a certain level. Because, like, you guys might go through certain different experiences, but that feeling or that emotion that you felt, someone else can feel that emotion too, dog. For sure. So, like, it's a weird thing, especially, like, with social media. People only want to show their wins. Yeah. So they never want to be like, oh, I took this loss. Yeah. No, bro, no one ever had. There's never been anyone that hasn't taken a loss, bro. Everyone takes losses. It's all about how you handle it and how do you learn from that loss. That's the biggest thing, too.
No, for sure. For sure.
All right, dog, let's get back to the album a little bit. So, what was your favorite part of making the album?
My favorite part was probably, like, getting those feelings out and being able to really, like, I tried to walk that line between... not even a line, I guess, but I try to walk that line between it being personal and getting my personal story out and being able to like really get everything I wanted to get out on a song, but also making it relatable or making it a joint, right? Like taking that approach to where I want to make this a good song. Yeah. That's where I love the feeling of like, okay, this is a good song. Yeah. Like there's moments like there's things that keep you on the edge of your seat a little bit, like just cool things going on sonically, and just getting to play with, learning how to make a good song was probably my favorite part. And then having it come and be a story, like I guess just like the accomplishment of it. I felt really accomplished when it started to come together. Yeah. Because I used to take that approach to like, before I was doing albums, I was doing like beat tapes. Yeah. And that was my whole style. I was trying to like, whether the person, people probably didn't even listen to those like that, but like, if a person was listening to them, I was telling a story throughout with the music. But being able to put the words to it and marry it together and then have it be cohesive across, that was like, chasing that end goal was my favorite thing. And like, really like, getting in the threads and like weaving it together, that just the details of it. It's a labor. It's what am I saying? It takes a lot, right? Like it takes a lot of intention, a lot of attention to detail, a lot of time. There's a word I'm looking for, but it's worth it in the end. Yeah, and that was probably my favorite part, the grind of it. That
process is so much fun because I remember my first album. I was like, I want to make an album. But then, like, just sitting down and trying to, like, you have this thought, right? But then it's difficult, like, all right, how am I going to make this thought actually become a thing? Yeah. So, like, sitting down and, like, detailing these songs, like, I want this song to go here, I want this song to sound like this, or I want this beat to sound like that. Yeah. It's always fun, dude, but it's challenging, but it's also fun, too, and it's also rewarding. Yeah. I don't think a lot of people understand what, like, goes behind the album, because, like, it takes a lot of time to put a good album together.
It does.
It's not, like, something you just do overnight. You can have the thought one night and then think about the next day, but, like, it takes time to actually build these beats, these songs, and make sure the songs actually sequence together. This song actually sounds like this, or this idea is hitting this right way. Yeah. So it's a process, man. But like you said, it's I don't know if you feel the same way, but I always love when I get to make a song and like that feeling I get after. I'm just like, dude, like I'm hyped up right now.
Yes,
like it's like,
bro. There's no other feeling.
Dog,
like
I know,
that,
and I be trying to find that feeling, other shit, bro. I can't find it, dog. It's like, dude, it's like, I make beats every once in a while. When I make a beat, I'm like, dog, I feel like the shit right now. This is great,
you feel like king of the world. That is the feeling that I'm always fucking chasing, bro.
Dude, it's so wild. It's so wild.
Yeah, no, it's amazing.
Yeah, no, do you get that same feeling when you perform?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes. Just like that, I guess it's that dopamine rush, bro. Like,
dog, yes.
Especially being that's when you really are able to present your art to the world. That is like the stage, the final, the final stage for it. How you present it when the people are actually right there.
Facts.
Right? It's one thing for them to hear it separate from you.
Facts.
But for you to be able to put it on display for them and give them the feeling in person.
That part.
And that's why I try to like convey that as much passion as possible in my performance, and like you said, being vulnerable and like really just like, letting yourself go in the music. Cause I love when I've there's a band called Snarky Puppy that one of my friends took me to go see. We went to their their recording sessions.
Oh shit!
They did it in Dallas, and we took a trip. And what my favorite thing to watch with them was like to watch these musicians. They're not even having no words; they just playing instruments. But to watch them just like lose themselves in the music and just do their things, that is part of it. Like you can really feel how passionate this person is. So I try to just like, I don't know, it's just me in a room. Or like just, you know what I mean? So something like that. But man.
It's hard to recreate that feeling, dude. It's only in the studio or when you're working on music, you can get that feeling. And like, I don't know if there's anything else you can find that feeling in, but it's like that. I think it's too just that when you're performing, it's that freedom that you have. For like an X amount of time that you're on stage, it's like, all right, I'm going to perform my art, and there's like nobody that can really tell me what not to do right now. I'm just going to do what I want to right now, and I'm going to purvey, or I want to show this message that I have to the world. It's like, it's so dope, man.
And I think that's where that high comes from, right? Like, I think it's just creating.
Yeah.
In general, like just being a creator and like creating something dope that you really love and resonate with, bro, it just gives you, because when you're performing, you creating an experience, like, and it's cool because it's a shared experience and you get feedback in real time.
That energy though, when you got, it's crazy when you know your song's hitting and you can feel the energy from the crowd and it's circulating, it comes back to you, and it's like, all right, I'm gonna put it comes back to you, like, all right, I'm gonna put the energy back into the crowd. It's just like an ongoing cycle, dude. It's I fucking love performing, dude. And your last performance at Motar, bro. A1. Now, actually, before the Q&A, we didn't film it, but like having that band behind you, bro, is that like even more of like an amp for you? Like, you get you even more juice? Yeah,
because like they give you a different take on the music. Like, it's I'm hearing it different than I created. And that's one of my favorite things too about creating a performance like that is like I get to work with those guys and be like, oh, I need a little bit more of this. And they, I'm just talking from, a lot of times they have to translate for me. It's a working relationship because I just know what I want to hear. And they're talking about like time signatures and all and keys and stuff like that. But creating that is one of the dopest things, and it's just a different type of energy. And you got their energy. Like I love when somebody like somebody soloing on a guitar or like playing it so crazy next to me, because it's just like it's a different energy. It's that same give and take with the crowd. You get the same give and take from the guys, and if they see me, you know, conveying a certain emotion to the audience or really getting into it, they'll pick up their play. And if I hear them going hard, I do the same thing. So it's beautiful. I love having a band, bro. It's nothing like it. It's nothing like it.
Dude, that performance was so lit. I remember the first time y'all played at the library, and I was like, damn, this is dope. But then y'all came back that second time at Mozart. I was like, they got even better, dude. Like, it's just having that band. I think live music in general, just hearing them strings in real time, it hits a little bit different than just having the beat going on behind you. It's like the beat's cool, but like hearing that drum, hearing that guitar, the bass guitar, like bongos, hearing all that stuff at one time is like, it's swelling up and making this one energy, and it's really cool to see. Man.
Yeah, because you can evolve it over time, right? Exactly. It's human. Yeah, it's human. We got people playing the instruments. So yeah.
That's the cool thing about music, though. Like, I don't think you'll ever perfect music, and if I think you do, then like I don't think anyone ever will. That's like, it's one of those things, like, it can always evolve. For one, you can make beats better, you can rap better, you can tell stories better, you can write better. There's a bunch of other things you can always evolve. Your perspective is going to change on shit too. So it's like, that's true. You never know. Well, you do know what the end product is going to be, but you really don't know what it's going to be at the same time. Because like, you can have, like I said before, you have that idea, but then it comes out a little bit different. So back to the band. How did you guys meet? I'm curious on that.
So a lot of connecting parts. So one of my friends from college, Gerald G Ramon, check out G Ramon music on everywhere. But he worked at Target with the drummer Owen O-Dog, and they were, and Owen and Matt, who's a lead guitarist, they used to jam together over the summers, or, you know, they jammed together for like a year or so, just in the little studio warehouse room that we have. So Gerald made the connection with Owen, and they were like, I guess they wanted to have like a night where they just got artists into the warehouse studio room that we have. And, you know, they invited a bunch of people. So naturally, Gerald invited me because he had been at my house recording for a while. He would just come through sometimes, and we would just record, or I would record for him. So they had that artist night, and then they were just playing beats that they made. Yeah. And some of that stuff, like the early stuff that they made, it was just like, it was a different type of energy. It was the first like type of beats I've been around where there was live instruments involved. They were really playing everything. And it was just a good energy. So we were all in a cold studio room, and I had my coat on, and you know they had a beat going. And in those early days, like my biggest thing when I was in rooms was like, I just want to, like, if somebody puts a beat on, I'm gonna write something. Yeah. Because if I get an opportunity to hop on a song, I want to be ready. So I was writing something. I was like, they paused, and I was like, I think I got a hook if y'all want to hear it. So I got in the booth and did it, and it was like, nah, we need that on the record. Like, and from there, it became like a little group. And, you know, we met different people that night, and we all started coming back, and then more people got brought in, like our pianist, John. Yeah. He got brought in through one of our other guitarists, Maya, and it was just like friends of friends coming together. And it was a special time where it was COVID, so, you know, and we were all like in college or fresh out of college, so we were still in that time where we were young and free and just doing whatever. So yeah, man, that's kind of how we met. And from there, it was just like we all had that like that spark, that creative spark together, and kind of like refined it together, like Steel Sharp and Steel, and a lot of those sessions, those early sessions that we had, because we started a group called Queen's Ransom. Yeah, and we had like a cool like 3-year run where we was just like doing performances, creating, like, it was just a beautiful time. Beats were coming out of it. As soon as somebody uploaded the beat to the Google Drive, somebody would have a verse for it, and then we would go into the studio the same day, next day, and get it out. It was just like an energy that everybody was trying to prove themselves as an artist, and wanted to be the best, and everybody was just going at it together. So that's how it came together. And from there, it's just been, we want to support each other, do shows, and they play for me, and they've brought different friends in and stuff like that. So it's dope, man. That's dope. It's always cool to like meet other people that have that same passion as yours, and then you guys can grow together as artists. And you guys, like you said, steel sharp or iron sharp as iron. So it's like you guys, one person get it better. Like, all right, I gotta get as good as that person. So you guys just keep evolving. And I think it'd probably be cool in a couple years to go back to see like our very first stuff, and like to see where it's at 5 years from now. Be like, damn, we've really grown as a group together. And it's like not just in the music, but also as people too, which I think is really cool too. But yeah, dude, having a band is so dope, and also having that story is really dope too, man. So
We've been talking about music so far. I know on the Q&A you said Andre 3 Stacks and Q-Tip were like big inspirations. I can definitely tell that on the album, just like the lyricism and shit like that.
Appreciate it.
When you first listened to 3 Stacks, what was like the thing that you like caught your ear that was like, damn, I really want to get into this artist?
His lines, like, I don't even know how he does it, bro. It's just like,
I know.
He just articulates things so eloquently in a different level with it, even if it's like the rhyme scheme is crazy or like he just has a style of his own. There's nobody that raps like him.
No, dude, it's
there
so
is
crazy.
nobody. Like he will. I think of like his verse on "Life of the Party," the Kanye song.
Dog, oh my fuck! Don't get me started on that shit,
like,
bro. Oh my fucking gosh, dude.
The detail, like,
dog, I know. Hey, Miss Donda. No, it's the first. Hey, Miss Donda, and he's just literally just painting a story, and it's like you can hear how hurt he is, but also like that freedom that he's getting it off his chest, dude. And it sucks that it had to get leaked the way it did, but it's also just a clean ass verse, dude.
It
like,
is, bro.
And it's bro, like if I'm okay with him making the windpipe music now. I'm not gonna say I'm mad at that shit, right? But like, I would love to hear like him now at his age, like him just doing a full rap album right now.
Yes, I think we all would, bro.
Like, and I get it. You're in that different. I'm always curious. So like, when I get to that age, I still want to make music at that age, but like, am I gonna want to rap still? Like, I wonder what is for him is like, all right, I don't think it's gonna hit the same or like people gonna think it's as cool, but it's like people still gonna get drawn to it, dog. It's 3 Stacks. Like he's one of the best lyricists of all time, dog.
And I
like,
think we need people that age doing it. Like
exactly.
Because to prove that you can, you still are creative. We still want to hear things. I think it only is rap.
Rap.
Where it's like you have to be in this box. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing about rap that gets me so mad is like, it's that cool image like you have to be this, you have to be talking about this. No, bro, like Nas is aging gracefully. Yes. Fucking Mos Def is aging gracefully.
LL Cool J just released a crazy album produced by Q-Tip that's just like,
they're aging gracefully, but I think as rap gets older, because rap is still very new compared to a lot of the other genres, right? Yeah. So like we need like a LL Cool J, we need a Q-Tip, we need a Jay-Z, like we need these people that are 40, 50, 60 still rapping about shit at a high level. Yes. That's the thing.
And for them to progress it, right? Like rap about where your life is now.
Exactly.
Don't try to go and get on Metro Boomin beat. Unless it's like, you know what I mean? You can, but like make it, just be yourself.
Mature a little bit.
Back to being yourself. I think a lot of shit comes back to being yourself.
Dog, that's the biggest thing. No, for real, dog. Like that's like, I wish Drake will make a mature album. I think that's what we really need from Drake. Because like my favorite project from him, it's always between Take Care and Nothing Was the Same. And those two projects to me was when he was at his most vulnerable. Yeah. Like now I want to hear what it's like to be like, all right, I got called out in the beef. I probably lost that beef. In my mind, I don't think I lost it, but like people think I lost it. I got called a pedophile. I got forced into fatherhood. Yeah. I've been hiding rap for 15 years. What does that do to your psyche? Because the big thing is now is like he's talking about girl problems that he had back in 2013, 14, 15 type shit. Yeah. I would love to hear a mature album from him. Like Jay-Z's 444 is my favorite project by him. I would say that one and then maybe Reasonable Doubt and then The Blueprint. But like 444 was such a mature album, dog. Yeah. He's like talking about investing in black businesses, how he fucked up cheating on Beyonce and shit like that. Yeah. And he was like, I apologize for that because how are my kids gonna look at me if I do that shit?
Yes, and that was a moment in the culture because it's like, here's this 40 plus man who's still making a good album.
Exactly.
Who's still finding a way to talk about all these things that like, maybe a younger person doesn't want to hear, but like, it's not for a younger person.
No, exactly.
Like, Jay-Z fans are now older. So like, even me, when I first heard Jay-Z, I was in my dad's car at like, 5 or something like that? But I progressed. So, you know what I'm saying? So imagine what people who are his age when they heard his music are older. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? We want to hear something that's like, we don't want to hear Playboy Cardi. I mean, maybe we do at our age, but like, they don't want to hear that shit.
I don't, but see, I think too, it comes down to the artist. Is that artist able to make a mature album? I wonder, because Playboy Cardi's never made to me like an album where like I can sit down, digest it, and like I can get my money up. I can think different. I can maybe treat my relationship a little bit different, shit like that. I love going back to Victory Lap because the older I get, that album ages perfectly because Nipsey's talking about some great owning your own business. Even in all his mixtapes, he was talking about owning your own business, just being who you are and just like standing on business and shit like that.
Nipsey make hustle music.
Bro, exactly.
I'm getting to it. I'm trying to do something. I'm independent. I'm trying to rise up from something.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's motivational.
You can always relate to that no matter what stage you're on in your life because like, for one, I think personally, like you need to always have something that you're going after. I think the saddest thing is like when people retire, especially dudes, they retire and then they don't do anything. Like I'm working with this guy now at my job. He owned a restaurant that was in Vermont at the bottom of a ski slope. He sold that bitch. He retired. He said, I kind of want to keep working. So he joined my job, and he's just like a baker there, and he just wants to keep working and keep hustling. It's like, bro, that mentality and that spirit, dude, like, I really respect that because he's still trying to get after and shit like that, dude. Like it's always about the growth too. I think like growing as a person.
I think
like
that's the important part. Yeah, just keep continuing to grow, continuing to learn. Like I think every new experience comes with a different viewpoint, seeing something else, learning something else, just being a lifetime learner. I think like it'll keep you growing.
That's the mentality. That's the mentality. It's so key, man. It's so key. It's I was back to like making mature albums. I think Kendrick did that too with Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Yeah. Like, bro, he took away, it was like damn near 4 or 5 years he was gone. And then he came back with this album where he's like, I've gone to therapy. I've gotten better. No one knew that he cheated on his wife or his fiance. Yeah. He cheated on her. He's talking about how he needs to get better. Like that album, that's one of those albums that like when we're like 40, we're going to be able to put on and be like, damn, bro, like this is some heat right now. And it's going to age really well. But back to influences. So you said I said 3 Stacks and then Q-Tip. What was one thing from Q-Tip that you were like, damn, I gotta really like listen to this artist now?
Production. I mean, one, he has just like cool rhymes and like a cool flow, and his voice is one of the best voices in hip hop history. But for Q-Tip, mainly like I think putting it all together, like the production, like the hard drums with like the soft jazz samples or like. You know what I mean? Like, it was his production is so unique and so warm. I just love the way he uses jazz music. He finds, like, perfect moments in a jazz song and put the hardest fucking drums over it. And, like, will just create this beautiful medley of music. And that's what I love about his shit. Like, that's where I try to capture those same things. Like, let me find the most musical part of this and make it hip hop and put some hard ass drums over it and like really make it special. Bring it into our world. So I love that about Q-Tip, bro. And he's just, to me, he's like so creative. To me, he's so creative. So
that creativity is so key, man. It's so key. I also like too, like, have you ever watched this documentary called Big Fun in the Big Town? You ever watched that? So there's this dude that came from Europe. I forget where he came from in Europe, but he came to America in New York when rap just got started. It has like a young LL Cool J, KRS-One, all those like rappers when they're very first starting out, right? And all these artists have different meanings of what hip hop means to them, right? So it's like, it's cool to see that Q-Tip, I think he's one of the pioneers for rap, especially 90s rap. He's one of the pioneers, right? Sure. He was able to make this unique sound that kind of made you a listener and made you fall in love with rap too. But also there's other artists that they see hip hop a different way, so their sound is gonna be different and draw other artists in. But Q-Tip being able to use jazz, but then putting the drums on there, I think is really tough too, man. When you get a chance, look at that documentary. It's so cool. It's like a 30, 35-minute documentary, and it's like it's so cool to see like all these artists like young as fuck. Like it had LL Cool J when he was like the pretty boy, all that shit, like super young and shit like that. And it's like, damn, bro, like it's hard to like we saw them as them being adults, but it's hard to like
as stars.
Exactly. Before they even like pop the shit like that, dude. It's really cool to see, man. So on your next album or just going forward in music and stuff like that, what are some things that you think that you can improve on or want to improve on for like going forward, you know?
I want to just keep growing. I want to like keep evolving, doing something new. I think I want to continue to get better as a songwriter in general. And again, just making really like good songs. And just like keep letting people into my world and just keep like exactly what we're talking about, like grow gracefully. Like not trying to be the last version of me, not getting caught into a box of where I'm trying to like, you know, please a certain subset of people or fans. I hope people will grow with me, and I really want to just keep progressing. I want to push the boundaries of my production because I make a lot of my own stuff, so I want to keep growing on that front. I also want to bring more people in, right? Like I want to. One thing I love about, say, a Kanye West, who is one of my favorite artists, favorite producers, is like the power of utilizing the power of we.
Dog,
like you're better than me at this. So like, but I want it to sound like that. Being a servant to the end product. You know what I mean? And I want this to sound like this, and I know you can do that better than me. So I'm gonna get you to do it, and in the process, I'm gonna learn from you. Not to like steal your style, but like just to collaborate. Because I'm probably gonna come to you again because you're better at it than me.
But I think that's usually, but that's also being humble and like just knowing where your strengths are at. And it's like Kanye's at that point now where he's built up the cachet to be like, hey, can you come in and do this? Like I think Don is the best, like just the best example of that because like all the singing and all that, all the rapping on that, he's like, all right, I'm Kanye West. I'm probably going down this top 5, top 10 rap artists of all time.
Yeah.
I can get these younger people or these singers in here to work with me. And even then, like, you look at, like, who was it? Was it, I forget what he had. I forget who we had coming to make the drums for his song. I think it was Timbaland. He went to like 3 or 4 different people to try to get the drums. Yeah. He was like, I can't get the drums to sound a certain way. And he took it to Tim. He's like, don't you ever go to anybody else for this shit, dude.
Right.
But this, like you said, using that creativity and that collaboration, because I feel like once you have people bring like their own 2 worlds together and they make something, that's when the best shit comes about.
Yes, it is.
Because it's like you have different ideas, and then you guys are both using your strengths to the best abilities, and now you make this dope ass project, man, or this product, and that's super key, man. That's really key.
Yeah. And back to one of your earlier questions, that was one of my favorite parts of my project, like having this bass idea, having these samples and the drums the way I do it, and then having somebody who plays an instrument come on and change the whole vibe. You know, not change the whole vibe, but add something to it, to where now I'm going back at it and I'm like, this has a new energy. It's a new thing.
Yeah.
And it created a moment and just made it so much better, elevated the sound of it. So
yeah. And now y'all both gonna have those memories that go on for years and be like, you know, we did this together. And y'all also have that product too to show people, which is really cool too, dog. Yeah. That's really cool. So I want to get back into the album a little bit too. We've been talking about the album the whole time. But so I feel like a lot of the album is like just a mindset switch and stuff like that. And just like getting people to try to maybe change their beliefs. Not change their beliefs, but like think bigger, just like kind of challenge them and stuff like that. Yeah. What are some ways that you, during your project, maybe have like challenged your beliefs, or just like, even now, how do you expand your beliefs?
I try to like, just ask questions. That's one thing when I was growing up in the belief system I was in, I didn't feel like it was like we could ask questions. I feel like it was discouraged to like challenge things. Yeah. But I feel like that's valuable. And I feel like even, you know, it's healthy. You know what I mean? Because I feel like the more and more you narrow yourself in to one thing, and the more and more you think you know it all, you think you have it figured out, life will tell you that you don't. It'll show you that you don't.
That part.
So I think just like staying open-minded, that was a big part of like what I wanted to convey on the album, like of just how my belief system kind of being torn down and me realizing all the flaws in it, like so suddenly just opened me up to like, well, shit, like I gotta refigure this stuff out. Yeah. And I think like taking that, you know, definitely standing for what you stand for, because it's important to have like guideposts and pillars that, you know, things that make you or the person you want to be. But when you get new information, not being afraid to pivot. Exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like when you have something that opens up your mind, because there are people that believe in all types of different things. There's somebody on the other side of the world that don't believe half of what we believe over here. And are they wrong? Like, are they just wrong? Or is something bad gonna happen to them? Or are they just like, you know what I mean? Like, what?
That don't mean they don't make them bad people. This is how they live their life, and you know what? It works for them. Yeah. And they've been able to live X amount. They've been able to live X amount of years on that belief system or whatever. That doesn't make them wrong. They just have a different way of living life, and we can live in harmony that way. Yeah. But I think that's where people get fucked up. Is like they can't see it from a different perspective. Like, no, you have to think this way. And it's like, it don't work that way, dude. Like everyone, it's like cooking a recipe, right? Yeah. I don't think everybody cooks spaghetti the same way.
Not at all.
Like that's kind of, for one, I don't want to taste spaghetti that tastes the same to everybody. Honestly, I don't want to. If I'm making spaghetti and I go to Italy and it tastes the fucking same, I fucked up somewhere. They fucked up somewhere. Because like I'm not Italian. I've never I just get the shit out the jar, get some noodles, I'm chilling, you know, type shit. Right. But it's just that, like you said, it's a belief system, man. It's like, I think one, building your own belief system, I think that's the biggest thing too. It's like something that you can fall back on and stand on. And it's not wrong. In my opinion, it's not wrong to have those ones that like come from religion to be like, hey, these are this. But maybe like pivoting away from them, be like, I'll take this and that, and then I'll maybe build a new pillar because I don't really believe in this one over here. Yeah. And I think too, a religion too is like, there's a lot of similarities in them. So like,
no, there is. Yeah.
If you look at that, it's like, all right, at the base of it is just love people, right? At the base of all of it, just love people, right? Yeah. I think you start there and kind of build your own way up, you know, and kind of figure out a good way to live life where you're not hurting people, harming yourself, and just like making the world a shitty place. I think you're doing a pretty good job, man.
Exactly. I don't think you can go wrong if you just like are a good person at heart. You know what I mean? Like no matter what you believe on the outer edges of your belief system, like if you keep the core intact of most religions, I think you'll do okay. And there was something else I was gonna say, but I can't remember right now. But yeah, man.
It's religion is always one of those things. It's like, I think once because I don't want to say broke away. I don't say broke away from it. After I read Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, it really changed my mindset on a lot of shit. Because I was like, dude, like religion will really make you not think a certain way. It will make you so narrow-minded, but it's like, bro, break out of that. And then the world really opens up for you. It's like, it's that book really, I read it during COVID, and that book really changed my whole mindset, dude. Like about people being drifters and non-drifters and stuff like that. And Napoleon also has like the Master Key System and Think and Grow Rich, and those books are great to read too. Rich, yeah. Like, but he had those thoughts back in like the 30s and 40s, bro. But he couldn't put it out because if he did put them out, people would have ridiculed him and be like, dude, you're fucking crazy. Yeah. And they had to wait to the 2000s for that shit to come out. Yeah. So it's like, it's the good thing about living in this time now, opposed to back in like the 30s and 40s. If you thought differently, motherfuckers gonna look at you crazy. Because like we didn't have the internet, and you only had, I even think back to like, let's think about feudal times, like 900 AD. Yeah. Like you had the priest that everybody's like go to for answers and shit like that. Mm-hmm. And if you thought against the priest, they're probably gonna exile you from whatever community. Yeah,
just make your life so uncomfortable.
Exactly. But then like back then it's like, bro, like you don't really want to get exiled or be like, what's the word? Look like an outcast. Because like where else are you gonna go for real? Right. Like it's already like, bro. There might be a village down there that don't fuck with us. I can't go down there because they might kill me. Right. I don't know what's north of me because I don't have enough food, nor do I have the knowledge to know what's up there.
It was different.
Now we have the knowledge to be like, all right, you can go on Reddit and post a question, and people be like, oh, I feel the same way. And you can kind of create this small community. You may not know them, but like you at least have that sense of security.
You know you're not crazy. You have that. You can go get validation. Yeah. The world is bigger now. Yeah. It's the same size, but it's bigger because we can see. We can see so much more. You know. So, and I think that's so important. I think like being able to find people that believe like you know what I mean? Because to your point, like when you get outside of the group, like people in small towns, like we've all heard people with that small town mentality where it's like everybody in this small, like there's a system the way this operates. Exactly. And like there's some people who are probably like not as accepted here who can't wait to leave. And there's people who are lived their whole life here. Yep. You know, they've been the popular kids since they were young. Yeah. They won't change their political beliefs. No. They won't listen to you. Like, and some of them people go to college and they like, you know, they break out of it and you see them in it. You see them as a person. Yeah. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with, you know, people from small towns or whatever, but just as an example. But then sometimes you see them go back and you was like, okay, that was just a phase in college. Like
that's the craziest thing to me, though.
They back in that box. Yeah, you just some of the people, the 5 people you spend the most time with, right? Like,
yeah, but it's like
you're gonna conform a little bit.
But like, why? I mean, if you've been exposed to it. But it probably goes back to earlier, that group think they're afraid to go away from the group. But like if you've gone away for X amount of months and you kind of changed who you were as a person and you like that version of yourself, why go back to the old version of yourself? Yeah. I don't like
fear.
Yeah, but fear is, and that goes back to even I Would in the Devil. Fear is such a motherfucker for people, dude, because they don't. I get it. I understand why people have fear, but that's also just not knowing what's going to happen. Yeah. I think if you run at fear enough times, you start to understand like it's just a thought. You just got to get past that thought because like. I don't know if you felt I don't know if you felt the same way. I remember the first time I put out music on SoundCloud, I was so afraid of like the feedback. But at the same time too, I was more amped about having a song out on SoundCloud that I can listen to and show people. Yes. And it was like, people said they didn't like it, but like at the same time too, I was like, bro, I don't give a fuck. I got a song out right now. Right. I feel like it's good. Now looking back on it, it was dog shit. Right. But like just having that confidence, like I like it enough and having it outweigh fear.
Yeah, that's important.
But it's fear is such a motherfucker, dude. It's I hate when like I see an older person at my job and they're like, yeah, I would have did this, but like I was afraid this was gonna happen and that. It's like, dog, you don't really know what's gonna happen until you try it. That's the biggest thing. Right. And people don't want to try a lot of the times. One, because they doubt themselves, fear, and other people tell them they can't. Mm-hmm. That's the thing too. People tell them that you can't do it, and you believe that. You only do what your mind tells you to. Right. If you put that limiter on yourself. Yep. Like imagine you told people 500 years ago that we can travel into space.
Right. I mean, imagine people telling people we could travel in a plane. The Wright brothers got it, bro.
Dog,
like people thought they were crazy. You know what I mean? Bro, now, I mean, like we take a plane everywhere.
It's nothing now.
It's commonplace.
But it sounds crazy though because they haven't seen it. I think that's a lot of it. I think seeing is believing. You know that term?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So like a lot of times when people don't have that mentality or just that belief of just like it can happen and having instilled with them, they're going to be like, no, you can't. A lot of times it's a projection of themselves too. Yeah. Because they either don't believe in it, someone told them they can't do it, and now they're trying to project someone else. Because what I found out too in life, a lot of times when you do something that somebody else wants to do, it's a reflection of them, and you're shining a light on what they couldn't do. Yeah. But if they actually tried, they could do it, and that's the worst part. It's like, dog, like I wish people could feel how it feels to be on stage in whatever field they're in, right? Yeah. Because that feeling of just like I'm free right now to do whatever, and I'm actually pursuing what I want to pursue. that feeling you can't take that away from me, dog.
Exactly,
like having that album out, no one can ever take that away from you. That feeling of completing the
Yeah.
album, no one can ever take that shit away from you, dog.
Ever.
Like that feeling is like something that for one helps build confidence, but two, like on a shitty day, dog, I can go back and listen to my music. I was like, dude, you know, I did this. You know, I can I can recreate this, and two, I did that.
Yeah.
I can stand on these pillars. So going back to pillars though, what are some pillars that you now stand on like as a person? Like almost maybe like top 3, or like maybe a couple that you're just like, I'm not changing on this. These are how I move now, and these are my beliefs or whatnot.
Top of mind right now are open-mindedness and like empathy, understanding. Like I'm big on that. Like what am I trying to say? I want to think about, I want to put myself in other people's shoes. Like, you know, a good example, like somebody's, and this is like it's a little bit of a silly example, but like somebody on the road, like we all get road rage, right? We all get mad at somebody on the road, somebody speeding past you. But you never know. Like we get so emotional over things, and I mean, of course we should, because that's why I say it's not the best example. We should, because you could put my life in danger. Yeah, I've been in that situation too. But for little things, you know, somebody could be on their way to the hospital. Yeah, somebody got a shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been in them situations too. But like, my point is putting yourself in other people's shoes and being able to like empathize and not like emotionally get so emotional about things. Like even when it comes to politics, like trying to understand where people are coming from. Yeah, because you know, I like to believe most people aren't crazy. So it's a mix of whatever life they've lived so far and whatever, you know, whatever their mom taught them, whatever their teachers had, whatever culture they grew up in, whatever experiences they had. You know what I'm saying? It's exposure and reference points. So trying to understand where people are coming from rather than just like emotionally reacting to what they're doing or saying. Yeah. I mean, that's easier said than done. And then sometimes you got to react, right? You only got time to react on the road. You might only have time to react. Yeah. But, you know, that's one thing I'm big on. I think that goes hand in hand with just like remaining open-minded. Yeah. Like back to the conversation we just had, just, you know, never closing not saying my doors are closed. I like you can't be right. There's no new information you can give me. Yeah. I will not hear that. Like just shutting down. Cause I think like early on in my life, that's how it was. Like there was just like, and you see it with people all the time, there's just like a wall they hit. Like where it's just like, I can't compute any information past this belief that I have. Yeah. So now I'm just like a robot and I'm just gonna repeat the same cycle. But it's like you're ignoring this clear point that I'm making and you won't even attempt to like hear me out past this wall that you created. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like there's like it's like those moments where you just like break the simulation for a second.
Dog, you break the matrix. You're like, holy shit. Like, what is going on? What the fuck?
You can't say that.
Yeah, dog, literally it's like, I have free will, but like, all right, my bad, dude. But it's, I think a lot of it goes to environment too. Yeah, no, it's the environment. Sure. It's like the environment that you grow up in. I forget what example they have. And they talk about it in school. It's like, is a person bad or is this their environment? But I think a lot of times it's their environment. Because like, if you put a flower in a shitty environment, it's probably not going to grow the best. It's not going to grow to its full potential. Same thing like a goldfish. If you put a goldfish in like or I forget what kind of fish it is. I forget what it is. You put a fish in a small tank, it's only going to grow the size of that tank. Yeah. Put it into a big tank, it's going to grow as big as a tank. It's the same thing with people. If you put them in an environment where like you said, they have that wall where they can't think past that wall, then they're going to be like, I think that's all I can think of. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to let anything else in. But also, I'm very curious. Like, I would love to be a fly on the wall, like for the day to day, for like people that are very close. Like, they live in that simulation life where like I do this, and then that, and then that's my day. Yeah. There's a simplicity to it that I kind of envy, but at the same time too, I'm like, I don't really want that shit. Yeah. Honestly, like it's cool because like it's very simple, but like life is so much more than simple. There's a lot of shit. Like you said, there's a mixture of like cultures, emotions. The weather's even different. There's a lot of things. No day is ever the same. Yeah. I realize that. It might feel the same, but like no day I ever really is the same. If you really think about it. Yep. So it's like
if you live in, you know, if you're getting outside of your box, like I think that is an important part. Back to your comment earlier that connected with me about the American dream. Yeah. Like I feel like I don't know. That's an idea that we were sold in a way. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, facts.
I feel like, you know, once you, what am I trying to say? When you learn to lean into. I think going back to like getting into the day-to-day of a person who kind of like lives that way and thinks that this system is going to get me this and, you know, I'm going to do the same things every day. I think you I don't know. I think you would find that there's probably not as much enjoyment there. No. It's just like sometimes you just don't know what else to do.
Exactly.
Or you're taught that this is what you're so ingrained in that system. I'm gonna get this from this. And sometimes you do it forever and you realize that it's been a sham. But you know what I'm saying?
40 years pass and you're like, oh, I didn't really get shit from that system.
Yeah.
Which is like, it's such a crazy thing because like for so long, like the American dream is like get a white picket fence, get a dog, get a house in the suburbs and get married, all that stuff, right? It's like live this certain way and you'll be happy. But then a lot of times people that do that shit, they're not really happy. Those are sometimes the most miserable people.
Yeah.
And I think about people that just like get like a van and they just travel America.
I think that's so exciting.
Bro, that's so cool. And they seem so happy because you're free.
Cool.
Like that's the coolest shit. Like you can literally pick up and go whenever you want to.
Yeah.
Like that shit is so cool. But yeah, the American dream is like, I think when we have kids, it's gonna be like I don't think it's gonna be the same American. It might still be around.
Yeah.
But like maybe it might change in form. But like I don't think that's gonna be such a prominent thing anymore. Because it's like, for one, our generations had the internet, so we see what kind of bullshit's out there.
Yeah.
And that American dream, a lot of times leaves you in hella debt, leaves you sad, and no fulfillment, and you never really chase what you really want to chase in life.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that's like, bro, like making music is one of those things. Like, you know how you get that rush or feeling like getting a song done. It's like I did what I wanted to do when I got out of it, what I wanted to get out of it. I don't even say what you wanted to get out of it, but like you completed something that you wanted to do.
Yes.
And then that fulfillment is just like that fulfillment is like it's so key. And I'm like going back to like there's no other way to like to replace that feeling. And I'll be trying to find it, but like that fulfillment and like making a song, like doing these videos and stuff like that, I can't find anything anywhere else in life.
Yeah.
So it's like, one, I want to, try to emulate that in other things. But like, two, I think is just like, I don't know, I won't say finding it, but like recreating it in a different form. Like when I go hiking, I love hiking now because it's like, I'm listening to nature, listening to music. It's hard. I can't even listen to music in nature no more. I have to take my earbuds out. No, I can't do it no more. I can't because I'm like, dude, I
can take it in.
Yeah, because like I have the song. Like I was listening to album on my hike earlier because I was like I got the podcast and stuff. But like the last 2 weeks I just had my dog with me and I've been hearing just his paws click on the ground, hearing the leaves rustle, hearing the rain. It's like, bro, like taking this in and just like those subtle things you got to find the happiness in that. I feel like and just like what you're pursuing and find that shit.
I need more of that. I need to go out and just go for a walk. You know what I'm saying? I've gotten away from that more recently, and I feel like I need some of that. Just like disconnecting from things because we consume so much on a daily basis.
I promise.
There's a good part of social media where it's like you were talking about. Basically like exposure, and we can talk to each other in real time with the American dream dying. Like I feel like we can talk to each other in real time, so we can, whether it's in the form of a meme, a tweet, or whatever. Like we can say like, some of this working shit is bullshit. Yeah. These companies are getting over on us. I feel like our generation says that through memes, through tweets all the time. Like we call out the bullshit. We can like validate each other's ideas. But at the same time, on the other end of social media, it's like, how much can you consume before you are consumed?
Exactly.
And just like being able to disconnect, I feel like that's like a foreign language nowadays more so.
It is. What I'm saying? But also too, you got to think about it. Our generation is the first to have this type of like exposure.
Yeah.
Because like our brains aren't really. I don't think realistically we're supposed to be connected to like millions of people at once. I don't think we evolved that far.
We definitely weren't built for
that.
Like,
dude, like it's because like I've been on social media for like it's been 5 months now, and I feel so much less anxiety from like. I don't get anxious, but like scrolling all day, I'm like, bro, I'm getting a little anxious right now. I'm like, it's like, what the fuck? But like taking them hikes, dog, and just getting into the wilderness and just the wild is like, dog, like this is like life at its purest form. Like there's trees, there's animals. It's just me and nature right now, just chilling. And like, it's so many. I'll get so many downloads. From, like if I got like the first time I went to take a hike, I had some questions I wanted to answer. And within my first 30 minutes, I had like damn near all my answers. And I was just like, oh shit.
I feel like, and that's the thing I've been trying to lean into more this year too. I feel like silence, because it's like the ideas are in here. I've been trying to take silent showers more where I don't have like the music blasting all the time. Because the ideas are in here. And if I'm always consuming something, whether it's music, whether it's social media, whether it's just people talking, like I can't hear my own thoughts. Like the magic, my album came from here. You know what I mean? It's having quiet time and being able to like go on a run and think about it or something like that. So being able to hear your own thoughts. I feel like
that's so key.
It's just not as commonplace, you know what I mean?
And even
and it's harder.
No, exactly. Because like you live in life, you're always on that go mode. You never really get a chance to like, let me breathe real quick. I think of like any prophet, like if it's I think of Muhammad, I think of Moses, I think of Jesus. They all took these voyages for days in the desert. Nothing. Nothing.
That's
they
true.
just and they
That's a
just
good point.
they got all these downloads, and it's like, bro, if we do that, that's why I've been trying to do it weekly. Like, if I got some answers, I can't really get it. Like, I got some questions I can't get an answer to. Let me go on this walk for a second, and like, let me just decompress, and then eventually they all come to you. And I like to lean on like the universe or whatever for like, I don't know everything, but like sometimes the answers are inside of you. If you just sit down for a second and you get into that silence. Yeah. But I think when you get into that silence, that's when you really start creating that new version of yourself. Yeah. That's the best part right there. Cause like, and the thing about it too, right? How I went talk about earlier, the journey's lonely. People don't want to go into that silence because you see the good part of yourself and the bad part of yourself.
Yeah. And you gotta do something with it.
Yeah, and that's that light and that shadow. People are afraid to look at that shadow because they're like, I keep it so over here. I never really think about it, but sometimes you got to open that door and be like, all right, let me confront this motherfucker because it's the yin yang. You have light and dark in you. Yeah. You can't just keep operating on this light system. There's also this dark system that you have too, and you got to work on the dark and the light. But that silence is so, and some people's demons are bigger than we know. So it's tougher for some people. So I get that part. For sure. But I think that's when you can really start doing the work, when you just sit down and you start listening to that you get in that silence. You're just like, all right, let me chill out for a second. Let me understand what's going on here. What did I fuck up on? What did I do right? How can I improve? What can I double down on, do even better? You know?
And I think an important part of that when you're facing those things is like realizing that at the end of the day, you're all you have. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you have to approach it with a sense of, no matter what, looking in the mirror and say, no matter what, I love you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And
dog. Yeah. It sounds mushy maybe, but it's so true because if you give up on you, like
who else you
gonna have? Like I have a girlfriend, but like at the end of the day, when I go to bed, it's just me in here. It's just me and my thoughts, bro.
Dog,
like,
I say that shit all the time. Like,
she can't save me from what's going on in my own head necessarily. My therapist can't. Nobody can.
No, dog. Like, that's the thing. And it's like, and people try to find that in other things like social media, food, drugs, whatever, right? Yeah. But I always say this, right? You have to wake up with yourself and you got to go to bed with yourself.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to put it. Yes, sir.
That's the only, like, you're playing in here at all times. Yeah. You have to remember that shit. Yeah. And yes, those people can be a boost to whatever you have going on. But like when you sleep at night, let's say you do have a partner, right? You wake up at 2:00 in the morning, your partner sleep. You're just there with your thoughts now. What you gonna do? And you have to fight whatever you got going on if it's bad or good. Yeah. But it's tough for people, and I get it. It's people got big things going on, but that's when the work really happens. When you sit down, you get into that silence. But the world's not built for you to have silence, because if you really start thinking, if you get into that silence, right? You really start thinking about it, right? You'll start thinking like, maybe this is some bullshit. Maybe this is right. Maybe this. Yeah, huh?
What do you mean?
Like, you just like, okay, like, let's say, like, you were, like, social media, right? Like, let's say you just sit down, and you're like, all right, those answers, like, maybe I don't want to follow the American dream. Maybe this religion isn't the right way I want to go. Maybe this job isn't right for me, right? Yeah. The world isn't built for you to have that time to yourself, because you got so many things going on.
Boy, it's not. So you have to be really intentional about it, because it is a rat race, bro. Like, we are all on this hamster wheel, bro. Go to work, come home, cook, do this, and it's all things you need to do for yourself. But where's that limit? And that's where I was trying to get to with my song "Vacate" from my album. Like, what is that relationship with work and all these things that we have going on? And like, I know there's something inside of each of us that just wants to spend a little bit more time in nature, in a quiet time, making beats, whatever, and like being able to like break away and not feeling like guilty about it, because hustle culture is a real thing too. And like, and also it's like, I mean, all this goes back to that American dream idea we were talking about too. Like, you need to invest and you need to do this, and that's very all important shit. Like, you do need to invest, because otherwise you'll be working for the rest of your fucking life. But like, we're all trying to be experts on so many things that you know, you should be reading a book on your commute. Read a book, listen to a podcast. You know what I'm saying? At a certain point, you just like are just
always on the go.
Your mind is always occupied by something, and you don't have the time to really get inside your head and zone out, or you know, whatever the case may be. Yeah, it's really talk to yourself.
Especially, I feel like in our culture too, we're not really giving ourselves enough credit to sit down, because like, nigga, you got work, bro. You you have no opportunity to slip up right now. Yeah. And that's like, and I feel like that's instilled from us very young. It's like, bro, you have to go get it. Yeah. Like, there's no way for you to like really, you can't fuck up. You have to keep going. Because like, I think about like my grandfather, like, they realistically didn't have time to really like sit down and like think about life. It's like, you're always on the go. Like, you have to keep getting shit together. Like, you have to fend for your family, make sure your family got enough food. Like, do you actually really have enough time to think about your mental health? Do you ever really think like you actually have like, or do you even know what mental health is?
Yeah.
That feeling that you when you're really depressed, do you know what depression is, or you just like I'm just sad right now, I'm just gonna kind of just push it off, and then that turns into a health complication because your body keeps score.
Yeah.
Like it's I really think about that. Like, do people actually sit down and think about it, or two, do they have the knowledge or where they actually shown that? Yeah. Like that goes back to even then. That's the good thing about social media. Like sometimes people can use that as a crutch. I really hate when people use it as a crutch, but like it's also a real thing. So like now we're exposed to like mental health, anxiety, depression. All this stuff is now like heightened. It's heightened. Yeah. We're also exposed to it now, so we know what we can do with it and like what it is.
That's true.
But it's yeah, that shit really can make you depressed. Just death scrolling. Yeah. That's why I ain't been on there for 5 months.
I wish, bro. I need to get off.
Dude,
I got like a blocker app I put on it, so like if I do open it, like it'll say like this is blocked. Like basically do something else with your time.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Dog.
But you said a bar, bro. Your body keeps score. I need to hear that one right now.
Oh, it's a book.
Yeah, it really?
It's a book.
I had to ask you about that. Like, is that a quote? It's a book.
Yeah, it's a really. Coda the Friend had a book group or a book like a book club a couple years ago. I downloaded that. Maybe I do audiobooks a lot. I maybe read like an hour of it, and it's like it's really true though, because like if you look at like. Stress is a motherfucker, right? It causes your blood pressure to go up. It causes heart issues and stuff like that. And if you keep that stress in you never really get it out. Where's the energy really? Because it's all energy in my belief, right? Where's the energy going? It's bouncing around your body, and then it's going to go somewhere. It's going to cause like a complication somewhere for your health. But yeah, dude, it's key, dude. You gotta really let go of the energy. That's why I think music is such a dope outlet. Because like we're able to literally. I always say this shit. We have a thought in our brain that no one else hears, then we sit down on the computer, and then we make that thought into a sound, and it comes back out on speakers. Yeah. That is the dopest shit ever, dog. It's like some magic shit, dog, like for real. Like, and we're actually able to express a feeling throughout whatever we're feeling through a beat, a song, whatever, right? And we're able to actually get the energy out. Then the energy can hit other people that might feel the same way. Then they come to a show, they let the energy out, and it kind of circulates, and you guys can kind of just have like a cleansing, I feel like, too. Yeah. It's a real thing, man. It's a real thing. Yeah. It's crazy, man. Real wild. All right, we've been talking for a while. I ain't gonna lie. It's probably like past an hour. So do you have any new music on the way to end the podcast? Anything we should be looking out for? I know we should be tapped into the album, but... Yeah.
Check out the album, Zero Belief, on all platforms. I want to put out more stuff. I got a lot of stuff just like in the vault, more like loose ideas that I'm trying to get, just trying to get out there in some form. Yeah. I'm already at, I think I'm past 50% on my next album. Damn, so like it'll probably be a while, but like I've had the concept for a while. Yeah. It's kind of been developing this at the same time I was making the process of the other one. So be on the lookout for that. More singles, more content, more shows. Hell yeah. So yeah, all the time. I'm really trying to promote this album though. So more shows for sure.
I always find it funny when artists like we'll start thinking about our next album while we're doing our first doing the album.
It's a gift and a curse.
Dog, it's like, bro,
for real. Because I'm like,
it's like I want to focus on this, but like this idea popped in my head and it's gonna be dope.
Because this one is so I need, what I'm saying? I want to stay in this one because I put so much into it. It's not that like. It's not that I'm eager to get to the next one, know what you mean, but I still want to keep creating and I still want, what I mean? I have that desire still. So
albums are good like eras and phases to look at in your life. I look at all my small projects and my albums like this what era I was like Johnny Politics was my Johnny Politics era. Yeah. Cruise was my Cruise era. Flamingo was my Flamingo era.
You do that well too. I like it.
It's just because like music is time capsules. So like for one, I think the biggest thing as artists, we got to be more into the process. Yeah. Really liking that process and like, all right, let me take in the studio session. Because, like, during the show, I love just, like, 30 seconds to a minute just, like, looking at the crowd and, like, taking it in. Yeah. Because, like, you're on stage and it's gone like that all of a sudden. But those 30 seconds I always remember those. Because I'm like, I actually, for one, I heard everything. I was able to smell this, whatever, if it's weed smoke, alcohol, whatever, I could smell the smell. Like, I could feel, like, the vibration from my skin, from the energy and shit like that. Like, I just try to take all that in.
Mental pictures.
So, yeah, dog. It stays up here because for years to come, you'll be able to go back to that 30 seconds to a minute. So definitely during the process of the album, like, definitely, like, locking into that. But also, too, is, like, you also want to keep growing as a person. So it's, like, it's a balancing act. It's all it really is.
And that's a struggle I find. It's, like, I think a lot of artists do. It's like we want to always be creating, but also just like one of the demands of life, and then just like growing as a person, like the growing pains you go through, like, and that's why I love music too, is because it's such a life process. Yes. You know what I mean? Like you take what life gives you, you synthesize it into whatever. You just said it, like whatever sounds come out. But it all deals in like life. If you're doing it right, I feel like it all deals in like life, and it touches so many people because we all live in it. You know what I mean? Like I like jobs like that where it's like I'm actually, you know, dealing with life on a real basis. I think in some of our jobs, we can get real far from the end product, especially like in IT where I work. Like you get real far. Like I'm buried in the system of like, I work at Fifth Third Bank, and like from somebody banking, like my work doesn't really touch that. I'm like probably like 3 or 4 or 5 layers deep. So sometimes you're just working. You're just working every day sometimes, and having something you can really feel the end result, like going to a show. Yeah, dog. Come on.
And the cool thing about songs, you do it in like in 2 to 4 minutes. Yeah. In a short form. Yes. Like you're putting life into 2 to 4 minute short like period or form or whatever.
That's the beauty.
But dude, it's cool, man. So cool. Flame Fontayne, where can they find you at on social media?
At Flame Fontayne, pretty much everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, pretty much at Flame Fontayne. YouTube, check out the YouTube, trying to get that popping. Patreon soon. Shit.
Hell yeah, brother. All right, y'all. This has been Flame Fontayne. My name is Chris Taylor, and this has been another episode of Illconversations. I will catch you for the next one. Peace.
Peace.
Good shit, dog.
Down with pen and pad again, pouring out. More struggle, more pain. Outlasted, overcame. On mine, never blame.